Okay, so I want to talk about dexterity today, because when you're, I've been told many times, when you're an artist, you have to pick one subject basically, and just paint that, whether it's a blue dog or the horse, and or happy children or whatever, and just stick to that one subject and drive it into the ground until you hate it and you need to stop painting, which is something I'm not going to do. I'm never going to do. It took me quite a while to figure out how to paint, how to work with the brushes, how to work with colors, what materials work well with me, how to work with different materials and meld them together, and to develop my own style. It took a really long time, but I have zero interest in picking one thing and just painting that. I do landscapes, I do abstracts, but I do a lot of figure and portrait work. I also work with a number of people if they ask for certain things sometimes. I don't do sailboats or happy children as much, but I've done them. I've done them just to be able to paint. And because of that, I've been called many things. I was called a hermit at one point, a hermit, which I can't argue with, and I don't really find as an insult, but calling me a sellout, because I tend to work with people. That one has bothered me for a really long time, for almost 10 years. That one particular snotty comment that came from a grown man who was living with his mother and painting in her bathroom, I have to put it in that context. That has bothered me. How do I justify to myself that I am a sellout or that I'm not? How do I justify it? So I've been thinking a lot lately again about it, and that really I'm more dexterous than a sellout. I think. But I'm not going to apologize for being able to paint in different ways, using different materials and painting different subjects or illustrating different subjects. That's not something I feel anyone should have to apologize for. I know there's people that have their niches. They paint cars. Well, I've painted cars. People that just paint portraits of white children. Okay, I've done that. I don't find it interesting at all, but I've done it. I've done all kinds of things. So I think the way I try and keep myself from being hurt by being called a sellout is by saying I'm dexterous. I just can do more things. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how broad the range is, but also in being dexterous and being able to cover a broad range of subjects and techniques. I forgot. Anyway, I've opened myself up to a lot of opportunities that I otherwise wouldn't have. And I'm going to show you how vast it can be. I forgot the word I was going to use, that went. But how vast the opportunities I can create for myself. And I always suggest this to other people, is that you try as well. If you can't do figure work, do what I did. Learn how to paint the figure. If you don't know how to do portrait work, it's a challenge, it's scary, it's too big. Just learn how to do it. Teach yourself. Just keep doing it until you get it right, and even after that, you're going to keep getting it a little bit wrong, so you just keep trying. But it allows you more opportunities and to play on more playgrounds. I've had shows in skateboard shops, very formal, very expensive galleries, people that do happy art, which, okay, but I do my version of happy art in their happy gallery. Also galleries that do sell landscapes, they do sell abstracts and all kinds of things. I've made it so that I can fit in almost anywhere. And it's just because I ripped the Band-Aid off and I said, well, you don't know how to do it, figure it out. So I'm going to show you a couple different examples. And two of these you've seen before. This is a brand new one. I was asked to do, there's a company I'm working with. I've done product development in the past. I'm doing product development again with a company here in Sarasota. They have 9 paintings right now. The mermaids and the floral abstracts that I did. They have them, they're in pre-production, I think, right now, and then they're gonna start printing them on canvases and having them stretched in a variety of sizes, so they'll be inexpensive and available. And this is one, and oops, let me tilt this, let me see. Whoop, it's all over the place, sorry, but you know how I am. So this is, they asked me to do flamingos, and at first I was like, yeah, okay. But they said, you know what, do it your way. We like the way you paint. And this is what we really want, is to be shown the respect that the way we paint, how we paint, our abilities are respected. You know, they're shown consideration and respected. That's what we really want in the end. If you don't want to do flamingos, it's okay. Well, we love flamingos, and just paint them your way. I mean, what a compliment, what a high compliment that I would be asked to do something that nobody's ever seen me do before and asked to do it my own way. To me, that's pretty incredible. So I've done pink flamingos in the color that the company sells their other items in, using the greens and blues and teals and pinks. And the flamingos aren't just pink flamingos, they've got oranges, they've got all kinds of colors. So there's one piece that I did for them, one painting I did for them, which I'm gonna have to go in and clean up a little bit because it's kind of a mess. I had to wait for the paint to dry. This is another one, and we've seen it before. This is one of my floral abstracts, and I happen to be really proud of these. I had to find a way to do what the client asked me to do, but also do it in my way, but also with their customers in mind and the colors that the company sells. So here we are again, teals, blues, pinks, peaches, blue, greens, some tans and browns, and you can take this. What I did was I designed the painting so it could be hung anyway. You could just keep turning it. They don't have to put, the person that's printing and then framing it won't have to put a hanger on the back because the customer will want to be able to take it and turn it. It'll also help the salesman who would then have to sell it because it's not one side up, you know. They can sell 2 of them and the customer can have 2 prints of the same painting and just take it and turn it so they match, but they're not too matchy-match. And that's part of the other, you know, that's one of the other advantages I have in being comfortable in how I paint and being having dexterity. I know I'm patting myself on the back relentlessly, but this wasn't overnight. This took me quite a while to figure out. And I'm just saying, if you can make yourself expand your abilities, you're going to open yourself up to a ton more opportunities. And that may be a sellout view, but I don't care. I'll paint anybody under the rug. So we go from the 2 paintings, the floral abstract and the flamingo abstract, and then you already know all my portrait work, to, let's put this one up. One of my more emotional abstracts. I started this on camera using orange aerosol. I went no plan, no real idea. This is all about abuse. In the background, as I talked about in the last video or any other video about it, there's text taken from a book about abuse, and it talks about the abuse and the abuser, blah, blah, blah. And what I've done is, or what I've started, are the layers in reds and oranges that will eventually glow in different sections. Right now there's only a couple layers on there, but eventually they'll be thick enough where it will feel heavier and actually more natural to the canvas, and then produce a glow. But what I also did was I went in and I was connecting, keeping the ideas of abuse and how it spreads. It's connective, like in all my abstracts, even the florals, even the flamingo. It's energy, 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 and everything connecting in a way. So here we go. This is the beginning of it all connecting. I do a lot of paintings about energy, and this is one. This could be abuse, or it could stand for many, many, many different emotions. But by the end, by the time I get done, hopefully it'll really punch you in the chest. Now, I'm going to be making the oils pretty thick on this. They're going to be very thick. And what's going to happen over time is eventually, because of the thick aerosol underneath, the oil is just going to start to crack. It's going to crack. And I want that effect. It's not going to happen for several years. It could be 10, 20, 30 years. But eventually the aerosol and the oil will crack. And that's what I want, the deterioration to happen, the wear of abuse and anger and other emotions. I want that effect in there so that it's multi-layered. I don't know if in 30 years anybody will care, but that's what I'm going for. Yeah, so we've got the different light will be picking up the lettering, different light will be faded into the black gesso, other light will be going into the oil and bouncing off the aerosol and coming back out and creating a glow. And so this is what I'm talking about when I say make yourself able to paint anything. If it's a challenge, if it's abstract and it's a challenge, find an intent behind that challenge. Find the feeling behind that challenge. And just go and do it. Make yourself dexterous. Make yourself be able to paint anything. Even if it's scary, even if you believe that you will fail, who cares? There are no rules in painting. Remember, we've got three rules. It doesn't matter. I've got them hanging up over here. The three rules are, in painting, or in art, it doesn't matter. It's all fixable. Number 3, there are no rules. So that's pretty easy. It doesn't matter, it's all fixable, and there are no rules. So figure out how to paint that car. Figure out how to paint that face. Open yourself up to as many opportunities as you possibly can, especially with us going into this new year and in the middle of COVID. You've got to make yourself be able to pull in, put your net out and pull in as many opportunities as you can. All right, that's it. That's my lecture. Sorry. Click on the button, subscribe, go to the links below if you'd like to help support Studio 120. I'm Beck Lane, and ciao, 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 meow, meow, meow. Ciao, ciao, boink, boink.